So we're taught to not trust ourselves. That's what we're taught. We're taught fear. It doesn't come naturally to us, but we're taught it. We're taught to distrust our own intimate, immediate, real-time, first-hand, subjective experience. My early mid-20s, life had become unlivable. I was so full of fear and doubt and anger and just pure self-hatred and fear, terrible fear of life and fear of other people. And I kind of stayed, most of my life I spent in my bedroom until my mid-20s. And then I became a spiritual seeker, searching for this thing called enlightenment. You know, and as a spiritual seeker, you go off and you can have all kinds of experiences of bliss and deep insights and experiences of seeing the light and traveling to different realms and transcending this and transcending that. But what I started to notice, which really depressed me even more, was that all experiences were temporary. Even the most blissful, orgasmic spiritual experience came and went. And I thought, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I hold on to it? Why can't I want that orgasmic, blissful spirit. I want that again. Why did it go? It was another like self-hatred. What's wrong with me? Why can't I maintain an experience? What's wrong with me? And I think that went right to the core of it. I started to realize that was the delusion that I've been living my whole life, that I should be able to control my thoughts and feelings. And at some point I became totally exhausted with the whole thing, with trying to become enlightened and trying to be perfect and basically trying to be something that I'm not. That's what in the end became so exhausting, was all the trying to be something that I'm not. And in many different ways I realized I'd done that my entire life, but then I'd even used spirituality, try and become this enlightened being. I wanted to be the enlightened one. I wanted to be special. The special me, the special enlightened me. The special enlightened me who wasn't a me. It was very clever. I wanted to be free of ego. And then the ego would be very satisfied with that if it was... then the ego could write a book called How I Freed Myself from Ego. How I Freed Myself from Ego in 7 days. And you can too. Just follow me. Or wanting to transcend the mind, wanting to stop the mind. But of course, it was only the mind that would want to stop the mind. It was only the mind that would want to transcend the mind, and then write a book called I Transcended the Mind. And you can too. So it all became so exhausting. And at some point, I think the whole thing just collapsed, and the question changed from how do I get there, or how can I perfect myself, or how can I become something else? Which I think that question had been with me since I was born, probably. How can I be something else? It's drummed into you from a very early age. Is become something else. Become something else. And even as spiritual seekers, we're still caught up in that. Become something else. So at some point, the whole thing became exhausting for me, and I was like, I don't want to be something else. I'm tired of it. I don't want to be anything else. I don't want to be something else. I want to be what I am. I don't want to be something else. And of course, at that point, actually, well, I don't want to be something else. I want to be who I am, but who the hell am I? So I'd never actually asked that question before. I was too busy trying to be something else. So that's when this other possibility began to break through. The possibility of embracing myself exactly as I am. I started to realize, actually, instead of trying to get rid of thoughts and feelings, instead of trying to get rid of fear, instead of trying to get rid of doubt, instead of trying to get rid of sadness, this question came to me: what the hell is wrong with sadness? What the hell is wrong with it? What the hell is wrong with doubt? What the hell is wrong with fear? My whole life I had assumed that there was something wrong with thinking my thoughts and feeling my feelings. That question came to me like a bolt of lightning. What's wrong? What's actually wrong with my experience?